What do you make of Stefanski saying now that Gabriel is the quarterback, that Shedeur is not getting first-team reps?
Look, let me start by saying pro sports is not fair. So there's, it's not fair. It's not, but that's pro sports. Secondly, how important is it that the Browns win? Is it important?
The most important.
Yeah, the most important. Okay, and they've decided that Dillon Gabriel is their starter. So if you need to win games, is it more important to have your starter at their best, whatever their best is, or to bring along the backup? It's the starter.
Okay, so why was Gabriel getting first-team reps in training camp and behind Flacco, but Shedeur isn't afforded the same opportunity in practice?
Because Flacco was never the future.
They won the game, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, my man had 90-yard pass. They won the game off of defense. Mm-hmm. And Myles Garrett, and they scoring on defense, they doing all that. So if they push Shedeur in the game for 2 minutes and he makes 2 throws, do you know how many questions Stefanski's going to have to answer? Yeah. He's going to have to answer that. So I think this is Shedeur. Just putting his hands up, man. Like, it's out of my control.
Like he's waving the white flag.
Not waving the right flag, because we all know that he wants to play. We see the kid training on his off days and all that. We know he wants to play. But I think this is him throwing his hands up like, man, it's not in my hands. Y'all got a dude starting over me that ain't nobody have better than me in college. You drafted him over me for some odd reason that don't nobody know. Don't nobody know why I fell in the draft and all that. I've been trying to fight. Every single time I've had my opportunities to make plays in college and in the pros, I've done them. Mm-hmm. That's why everybody fighting for me to get in the game right now, because they know that I'm a better quarterback than Dillon Gabriel. But obviously something with the Cleveland Browns is saying, man, we don't think so. Mm-hmm. But I'm done. You know what I'm saying? I've seen this dude play the last 2 games, and that's Dillon Gabriel, and he's not looking good.
And Stefanski continues to praise Dillon Gabriel for how tough he is, how physically tough, and he hangs in there and he keeps fighting. Listen, Shedeur is the ultimate fighter. If you watched him, as I did, every snap at Colorado, you want to talk about physically and mentally tough? He got hit as much as any college quarterback I've ever seen for full seasons, twice, 2 seasons at Colorado, and he jumped up and threw it again and again and again. I just want to see him get a chance while the season is still half alive, where the vets are still mildly invested in this. I don't want to see the last 3 games Shedeur Sanders. So they have at New England, and obviously Dillon Gabriel is going to start that game, and they will lose that game, and I think they'll lose it convincingly. And Dillon Gabriel will have a 19 QBR and throw for 142 yards and no picks and no touchdowns. And yet, after New England, they have a bye week, and it's time to see what Shedeur has. That's just me. I want this to be a fair fight when it's obviously not a fair fight, because the head coach will basically lay down his life and his job to make sure Shedeur doesn't get a shot this year, and he loves Dillon Gabriel to a fault. But I'm campaigning to give Shedeur 1 shot with the season still somewhere in the middle where the vets haven't gone home for the holidays yet. That's just me.
Yeah. I'm giving him the start just based on the win. You know, they put up 31 points, they got the win, so of course he deserves to start. I'm concerned about the system. I mean, Joe Flacco goes in there and he looks terrible, and now Joe Flacco goes to the Bengals and he lights it up and they're running simple concepts, right? So Dillon doesn't give you much, but he doesn't turn the ball over, right? I think coming out of the bye, if they do lose to New England and they're coming out of the bye week, you give Shedeur 2 weeks to prepare, and hopefully Shedeur comes in and opens up the entire offense, chucking it around, rushing the ball. I just don't trust the offensive play calling right now, because it's super vanilla. It's Cleveland Browns football. Pound it straight ahead, take short completions, don't push the ball down the field. So Dillon Gabriel, he's earned it up to this point, because in the preseason he played well. Shedeur missed a preseason game. You know, Shedeur came in the first preseason game, lit it up. Second preseason game, I'm not sure if he missed the second or third preseason. He missed the second one, so okay, Dillon's the guy, and then Shedeur gets the 3rd-team snaps because he's the 3rd-team guy. I'll agree, Stefanski does not want to play him. He does not want to play him, but I think it sets up nicely. They're going into New England. New England's playing good ball. They got the bye week.
The Cleveland Browns quarterback room has always been a soap opera.
From the endless shuffle of starters to the constant rumours of locker room drama, chaos is nothing new. But this time, the issue isn't about who's starting, it's about who's being ignored. Shedeur Sanders, son of NFL legend Deion Primetime Sanders, was supposed to be Cleveland's next big project, polished, accurate, and built for the spotlight. Yet as the Browns get ready for another must-win game, Shedeur is still stuck on the sidelines, watching, waiting, and wondering why he hasn't been given the same chance to develop as fellow rookie Dillon Gabriel. For a team desperate for consistency, the Browns may have just created a controversy that could define their season and divide their locker room. When head coach Kevin Stefanski named Dillon Gabriel the starter after the Joe Flacco trade, no one was shocked. Gabriel had shown flashes in camp, fit the system, and matched Cleveland's conservative game plan. But the real surprise wasn't about who got the job, it was what happened next. When Gabriel backed up Flacco, he still got first-team reps to build chemistry with the starters, something coaches said was key for a next-man-up mentality. But when Sanders moved into that same backup role, those reps vanished overnight. Stefanski told reporters, with a young quarterback like Dillon starting, he needs a lot of reps. It's different when you have a veteran like Joe. Sure, it sounds reasonable on paper, but behind closed doors, several players are questioning whether the Browns are quietly holding Shedeur back before he even gets started. Gabriel has been steady, but not special. In 3 starts, he's led the Browns to a 1-2 record, throwing for 546 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no turnovers. Solid numbers, but painfully safe. The offense has been so conservative, it's almost lifeless, averaging under 200 passing yards and relying heavily on the run game. Gabriel hasn't completed a pass longer than 24 yards all season. That's not just a stat, that's a philosophy. The Browns are trying to survive on defense and caution, but in the NFL, safe usually means predictable, and predictable teams don't last long in playoff races. Meanwhile, Sanders, known at Colorado and Jackson State for extending plays and attacking deep, is being left out of key first-team work. Without those reps, even if Gabriel stumbles, Sanders won't be ready to step in. That's where the tension builds. Cleveland says they're building for the future. But how do you build anything when your most promising piece isn't even allowed near the foundation? To his credit, Shedeur hasn't complained. Instead, he's shown class and patience, posting on social media. The greatest lesson I've learned through it all is not to worry, but to lean on and trust God in every situation. True success is who you become while waiting on God's timing. It's a calm message, but behind it lies frustration. Inside the locker room, teammates say Shedeur's been professional and quiet, but everyone can sense his disappointment. He's been grinding after practice with third-string QB Bailey Zappi, far from the real high-pressure reps that actually matter. For some players, it's hard to watch. He's got the arm, the instincts, the bloodline, and he's running scout team drills, one player said privately. He's too talented to be stuck doing that. Of course, the Shedeur Sanders saga comes with its own twist. The weight of his father's fame. Deion Primetime Sanders has always been vocal about his son's journey, from college recruiting wars to emotional draft nights. But that spotlight cuts both ways. To some, Shedeur's name brings unfair pressure. People assume if he gets something, it's because of Deion, and if he doesn't, it's because of Deion. The truth might be simpler. Cleveland just doesn't know how to handle prime-time attention. Every time Shedeur throws in warm-ups, cameras flash. Every time Gabriel struggles, fans flood social media chanting, "Start Shedeur." The Browns' front office, already scarred by years of quarterback instability, seems determined to stay the course, even if it means ignoring the obvious potential right behind it. And let's be real, this isn't Cleveland's first quarterback mess. From Johnny Manziel's meltdown to Baker Mayfield's mishandling and Deshaun Watson's ongoing drama, the Browns' QB history reads more like a warning sign than a success story. Shedeur's situation feels different, but still painfully familiar. Like those before him, he's stuck waiting for his chance in a franchise that's never figured out how to balance patience with opportunity. The difference this time is the Browns' own strategy might be killing their future star before he even gets going. Fans are already restless. On social media and sports radio, calls are growing louder. Give Shedeur some first-team reps. Let him fail in practice before you claim he's not ready, one fan argued on 92.3 The Fan. You can't judge a quarterback who's throwing to third stringers. Even ESPN analysts have joined in, calling Stefanski's plan defensively logical but developmentally flawed. One insider didn't hold back. You drafted Shedeur Sanders to be the future, not a cheerleader. If he's not getting first-team reps now, when will he? Inside the building, it's not open rebellion yet, but the whispers are getting louder. Some players back Gabriel for his discipline and calm, while others believe Shedeur brings the spark this stale offense desperately needs. Receivers, in particular, are curious how much sharper they'd look catching passes from a guy with a faster release and a stronger deep ball. The coaches insist there's no divide, but in the NFL, perception becomes reality fast. And right now, the reality is Cleveland's two-rookie plan looks dangerously one-sided. Through it all, Shedeur stays composed. His calm, confident demeanor mirrors his father's trademark swagger. He's seen the spotlight before. From Colorado's chaos to the NFL's glare, he's been forged in fire. But Cleveland's cautious approach could smother that flame. Without first-team reps, even the most talented quarterback can fade. NFL history is full of stories of players who didn't fail because they lacked skill, but because they lacked opportunity. The Browns say they're protecting him, but sometimes protection is just another word for fear. If Gabriel keeps putting up modest numbers, safe but forgettable, the pressure will only grow. Cleveland's defense is elite and their championship window is small. Playing it safe might cost them everything. Fans and analysts are already asking the question Kevin Stefanski doesn't want to hear. What happens if Gabriel falters again? Logically, the next man up should be Shedeur, but without first-team reps, will he even be ready? It's a dangerous bet. The Browns are gambling on stability over preparation, and history hasn't been kind to teams that try that. For now, Shedeur Sanders smiles, prays, and waits. Publicly, he leans on faith. Privately, he's burning to compete.